Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we check out some of our not-so-furry friends as Outragehisss Animals visits East Brunswick Public Library and shows off some lizards, snakes, and even an armadillo as part of a children's program. Then we head up to East Brunswick High School for senior night with the girls' track and field team as athletic director Frank Knoppenberger talks with some of the girls. The library held a special event in honor of Holocaust Remembrance Day as we take a look at Jewish life in Ukraine leading up to World War II. Then Ken Friedman tells us all about the upcoming Taste of Central Jersey and how it will benefit the East Brunswick Rescue Squad. All this plus a special in our schools from Central Elementary School for Disability Day, where students learned about the various disabilities that can affect others as part of Autism Awareness Month. So stay with us.
I'm Vivian Leung, reporting for This Week in East Brunswick, and Outragehisss will be showing us some animals here at the East Brunswick Public Library. Let's check it out. And what brings you to the East Brunswick Public Library today?
Today we were sharing 8 different exotic animals from our facility with all the families that came to the library today. And Outragehisss was started by a lot of animals that were donated to us from other people who had them as pets. And then when these pets are looking for new homes and their families can't take care of them anymore, they end up sometimes finding home at Outragehisss. And all the people that work for Outragehisss, we have a strong love for wildlife and good knowledge base too. So by making this business, we can share that love and our knowledge with the public and show them cool animals like Dozer here, my 9-banded armadillo, up close and in person. Dozer here, he is a 9-banded armadillo, which would come from Texas and Florida. I hear they've even expanded their range over to California now too. But this is one animal you could find in the United States, and not everyone gets to see these animals around here in New York and New Jersey. So it was fun to have the armadillo here at the library, but we also had a snake, a Burmese python. They can get to be over 20 feet long, the females, so that was also really exciting to see. And being at the library, it's kind of interesting because you have all these different books to read about animals, but when you get to see them up close and in person, it kind of brings an extra factor to that interest you may already have. We did an hour show with 8 different animals. We had a macaw, we had a big Burmese python, we had this 9-banded armadillo who's munching up his mealworms here, and we had a bullfrog, we had a tortoise, a Burmese mountain tortoise. We also had a sugar glider, and who else am I missing there? A Cuban rock iguana. 8 different animals. We have over 100 animals in all. We're located in Chestnut Ridge, New York, and we do all kinds of different educational fun programs, from birthday parties to school programs. We work with the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts as well in our area. Camp programs, I mean, anything you can think of, we can bring the animals out and have a fun educational time. Today we had quite a large group. There were probably over 100 people in the audience, so we didn't have time to let everyone pet the animals like we do at some smaller events. And at birthday parties we can have the birthday child help the exhibitor feed some of the animals, and it's a little more hands-on when it's smaller, but I wanted to make sure everyone had a good time, got to see the animals up close, got to see them do some fun things like eat different foods, and we did get to pet the snake at the end, which was always fun.
And what do you enjoy most about doing these programs with kids?
You know, I love animals, I love working with kids, so it kind of is the best of both worlds doing this kind of line of work, you know, animal presentations. I get to share my love of animals with others. Sometimes you'll have a child come up at the end of the show and give you a big hug and say, "That was the best show ever," and that's always very rewarding to know that they had fun and they learned something about the animals, and you know, they'd like to do it again.
And what's the most exotic animal that you have?
Well, we have something called a binturong. That animal wasn't invited to the show here today at the library. It actually doesn't travel from our facility, but it's a big mammal from Southeast Asia, and it looks kind of like a large mongoose. I would say that might be the most exotic, a binturong.
And for people who want to have more information on Outrageous Pets and to contact you for shows, how can they reach you?
Well, our phone number is 845-352-4477. That's 845-352-HISS. And our website is www.outragehisspets.com. That's OUTRAGEHISSSPETS.com. So there's 3 S's in HISS, outragehisspets.com.
And will you be coming back to the library?
I would love to come back. Anytime they want to invite me and the animals, we'd love to come again. I had a great time.
I'm Vivian Leung reporting for This Week in East Brunswick, and we hope that you enjoyed Outrageous Pets presentation. For more information on East Brunswick Public Library's upcoming events, please be sure to check out EBPL.org. We'll see you next week.
All right, friends, as we wrap up our Outrageous Pet Show here at the library today, I want to thank you all for coming out. Give yourselves a big round of applause for your work today. And I hope to see you all again soon.
Hello, it's senior day here at East Brunswick High School, and it's specifically girls track team being recognized as our senior athletes. And their last home meet, and with me is Kelsey McDonald, one of our outstanding javelin throwers. Kelsey's going to be competing this weekend at Penn. But before we ask about that, Kels, tell me about today's meet and what's your thoughts at your last home meet here?
It's really bittersweet, the last home meet. It's kind of sad because my javelin relay team actually made this shirt for me, and I'm going to be leaving them, which is really upsetting. But it's nice that we had so much support over the past 4 years, really helping us out here.
Okay, now for the audience out there, obviously you're one of the better javelin throwers in the state. Tell us about that whole experience and what it means to you to be going to the Penn Relays.
It means a ton to me to be going to the Penn Relays. I've been working for it for the past 4 years, and to finally be honored with going, I'm so excited. And I actually just found out I'm competing against South Americans, so I'm really excited for that.
And that's all in your age category, correct? Correct. Now you're going to be going to Villanova. Isn't that going to be weird going to Villanova and you're playing, competing at Penn?
I have Villanova teammates that are competing right after me, so it shouldn't be that weird. It should be good to get the experience this year.
And now I have Daniela Woods with us, who's our outstanding 800 runner, one of the best we've ever had. Daniela, your last meet here on a rainy East Brunswick track. What's your thoughts about the last home meet?
It's really sad because I remember being here my first senior night as a freshman, and I didn't really get it. This is your last time, and now feeling it firsthand, it's sad, but it's really exciting.
Went fast?
It did. It flew by. Those years.
Now I'm looking at your shirt. That's what the 800 runners made for you. But on the bottom it says, "I hate running." Can you explain that one?
Running is a love-hate relationship. I'm sure everyone could tell you that. It's very painful, but at the same time, it's extremely self-fulfilling.
Good. Any thoughts about the upcoming GMC relays?
Every year at GMCs, I always PR, which is your best time. So I'm really excited to PR this year.
Good. And East Stroudsburg, what do you want to major in?
Psychology and business.
Very good. Well, I know you'll be successful. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And now we have Renee Newsy with us, our outstanding shot putter, who's also going to be competing next weekend at the GMC relays. Any thoughts about your team?
I'm really excited this year. We have a bunch of new throwers, and everybody's been improving pretty well so far, so hopefully we'll have a good GMCs this year.
Now, I understand you're going to RPI, outstanding school. Congratulations to you. What are your plans in 4 years? What are you going to be doing?
I want to be a chemist.
Any particular area?
Cosmetics.
Okay. Now, Daniela, tell me your most memorable story or memory of track at East Brunswick.
It's probably definitely the rainy practices where it's downpouring and we have to run a mile and everybody just bonds together and we get it done.
It's a pleasure talking to you and watching you compete, and best of luck at RPI and next weekend.
Thank you.
And now let's meet the seniors. Jessica Alman, Gloria Brower, Melody Faxada, Carrie Fee, Sarah Frost, Rachel Huang, Rachel Lubitz, Kelsey McDonald, Samantha Nicolero, Renee Newsy, Jesse Pang, Kayla Sampson, and Daniela Woods. The amount of hard work and dedication displayed by these student athletes is remarkable, and we would like to thank the family and friends who have supported them. Congratulations and good luck.
Would you love to eat great food while supporting the East Brunswick Rescue Squad? If you answered yes, then get ready. On Thursday, May the 15th, from 6 to 8 p.m., there'll be a fundraising event for the East Brunswick Rescue Squad at Playhouse 22, 721 Cranberry Road, East Brunswick. At A Taste of Central Jersey, visitors will feast on delicious appetizers, entrees, and desserts offered by over a dozen local Central New Jersey restaurants who'll be showcasing a variety of foods for you to enjoy. Participating restaurants include Carrabba's Italian Grill, Chili's Grill and Bar, Colonial Diner, East Brunswick Chinese Restaurant, Hooters, Jack's Corner Market, La Tavola Cucina Ristorante, Magnifico's Ice Cream, Mancini Pizza, and Sandy's Luncheonette and Pizza, all under one roof at Playhouse 22. There'll be fun, food, and prizes for the entire family. A minimum requested donation of only $15 per person enables participants to enjoy all of the restaurant's offerings. Children under the age of 12 who are accompanied by an adult are admitted free. All donations are tax deductible. This event is sponsored by the Central Jersey Business Alliance, with all of the profits going to the East Brunswick Rescue Squad. It was a very successful event last year, and with more participating restaurants, it promises to be even better this year. So come to A Taste of Central Jersey on Thursday, May 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be a wonderful community event with excellent food and socializing, benefiting the dedicated men and women of the East Brunswick Rescue Squad who are always there to help us in times of injury and distress. For more information, call the Central Jersey Business Alliance at 732-690-5496 for more information. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Now we're going to go outside and we're going to speak to John Hosey, captain of the East Brunswick Rescue Squad. The Taste of Central New Jersey is all about helping the East Brunswick Rescue Squad, and with me today is John Hosey, captain of the East Brunswick Rescue Squad.
Hi, I really appreciate the opportunity to come out and certainly talk with you about the Taste of East Brunswick. It's been a tremendous help to us in the past, and looking forward to another year like we had last year, because there's so many needs that the East Brunswick Rescue Squad has right now.
John, there's so many new people who come into East Brunswick. Can you give a little history of the Rescue Squad?
Absolutely. So the Rescue Squad was actually formed back in 1952, and it's kind of a great story because it was formed by the residents of East Brunswick who saw a need for EMS in East Brunswick. It was, I guess, Route 18 had a they call a suicide lane where there was no concrete barrier. And what happened was there was so many head-on collisions and it took so long for EMS to respond, they said, we're going to do this. And they actually put seconds on their houses to buy the equipment, buy the building, and do all those types of things. So quite a history.
How long have you been a member?
I've been a member, I'm in my 7th year right now.
And what types of people volunteer and come into the Rescue Squad to help out?
Well, we get multiple types of people, all ages, all types of backgrounds, and we get students from Rutgers and other places where they want to look at a career in medicine and whatnot. And we also get people that have been touched by the squad, like myself. And I had an incident where my son was in a very bad motor vehicle accident, and the Rescue Squad was there for me. And rather than send a check, which we can always use, I decided to step up and see if I could do this. And I think a lot of people in our community look at this type of work and say, no, not me. I happen to be one of them. And then having joined the squad and seeing what it was really about, it's probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life.
Last year, I know the Taste of Central Jersey raised over $5,000 for the rescue squad. What did you do with that money? How was it allocated?
It's never a problem to spend money that's given to us. We have so many needs. In this particular case, we had a backboard need where whenever there's motor vehicle accidents, we have to, in many cases, use backboards and restrain people so in case they have a spinal injury. And our backboards started cracking. They've been around for many, many years. And we had to go out and buy new backboards, so that was a significant expense. We used the money for all types of first aid equipment, and there's always the unknown. This year, we have a number of needs, one of which is we need a new stretcher. These stretchers are not inexpensive. They're in the order of the lowest cost versions are $5,000–6,000. So we absolutely have to go get a stretcher, and we absolutely need help getting the funds for that stretcher. So this is a very timely event for us.
Thank you, John, and we're going to do everything we can to be able to rally and come to the aid of the rescue squad, who's always there for us. For the people in the community who may not be able to make it to the Taste of Central Jersey, but they still would like to support the rescue squad, what are some of the things that they could do to help?
So the two main areas of need we have, one certainly from a financial point of view, and we will gladly accept checks mailed to the East Brunswick Rescue Squad at 346 Cranberry Road, East Brunswick 08816. You can also visit our website at www.ebrs.org, and there's a tab where you can actually donate online should you want to do it that way. And then lastly, if there's any interest, please contact me as far as joining the squad. I'd love to talk to you about it. Won't give you the salesman technique where, I'll guilt you into it, because I won't do that. But certainly if the people are interested in joining the squad, I can tell them about my experience. And I can be reached email-wise at captain@ebrs.org.
Captain John Hosey, thank you so much for everything that you do and continue to do for our community, along with all of the volunteer members of the East Brunswick Rescue Squad.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We're very fortunate to be here today at the library for a very special presentation about the Jews of the Ukraine during pre-World War II times. This is part of the East Brunswick Library Roots Project. Come join us. Tell us a little bit about this special Roots Project here at the library.
Well, the Roots Project came about a year ago when I was talking to Michael Kessler, who actually planned this evening's event and helped come up with some of the speakers and the itinerary for the event. And he suggested some type of series celebrating different cultures. So I thought with the multicultural community that we have here, we could celebrate cultures that are found among our own residents. So the idea for the Roots Project was born. We decided to focus on 4 different cultures from different parts of the world and have a lecture and an arts event for each one.
So tell us a little bit about how you got involved writing about the Holocaust.
Well, I actually ran away from the catastrophic events to Soviet Russia all the way to Uzbekistan on June 24th, 1941. Believe it or not, a few hours before the Germans came into our town, Dubno, which was really part of Poland, but is now the Ukraine. Anyway, we lived in Uzbekistan for a few years, and then when we came back, we found no one. Of course, we found the mass graves of 8,000 people of my town, including my parents. I decided to tell people of my experiences and indirectly about the catastrophe that we call the Holocaust. So my personal story is in a book called Shards of War, Fleeing to and from Uzbekistan.
Now, for those who are not familiar with your work, you translated a lot of materials that are very important to all civilization, Jewish people in all different cultures. Tell us a little bit how you got involved in this whole process.
First, let me say that what I do is I translate. I'm not the original writer. The original writers of the books that I've translated are people who lived in the various Eastern European towns, Städtlach as they were called, cities, who after the Holocaust realized that if they did not set down their memories of the history of these places, it would be lost. As to my involvement, I was uniquely qualified by virtue of having been raised in an immigrant Yiddish-speaking household. Yiddish was my first spoken language, so I speak all three languages, English, Hebrew, and Yiddish fluently. And for a variety of events in my life, I finally came to a point late in life where I felt a commitment to use these skills, to translate these works, because I was especially concerned that Yiddish is a declining language. And 50 years from now, it's questionable how many people will be able to read the originals of these books. And yet these books contain enormously valuable history that shouldn't be locked up, so to speak, behind a language barrier.
So, Professor, it was quite a meaningful talk here today, and we're looking at some of the publications that some of the professors who spoke have here today. Can you tell us a little bit more about your book?
Oh, sure. My book really reflects on, I think, the more positive interaction between Jews, Poles, Ukrainians, because it focuses on the taverns that the Jews ran. They leased them from the Polish nobility, and they were frequented by the peasantry, Ukrainians and Poles. And for much of the history, the taverns were actually a setting where people got along, where they depended on the Jewish tavern keeper for various services, remedies, and so on. And they even helped the Jewish tavern keeper keep the tavern running, for example, on the Sabbath, once the government tried to ban them. So it's a real picture of coexistence that is a little different from the story of anti-Semitism and violence that we're more accustomed to hearing about. We have to learn about the Holocaust. We have to commemorate the Holocaust. But we can't let it obscure our learning about this very rich and vital Jewish life that existed in Eastern Europe. There's a reason why 3/4 of the world's Jewish population lived there. It was because for much of the history, it was a secure and prosperous place, thanks in great part to the economic relations with the nobility.
It's important because we have an obligation to remember. Remembering is one of the pillars on which Jewish culture stands. And for us to not remember runs the risk of having the world forget what a terrible thing happened. And it's our young people in the future who will have to carry that memory forward. But in order to do that, they need source material that they can study and learn what it was to be a Jew in Eastern Europe during this period of time, because it's an essential ingredient to who we are today and who we are always going to be.
Some 2 million Jews perished in what's now Ukraine. But prior to that, Ukraine was the incubator of Jewish life worldwide. 2 million Jews from Ukraine migrated to the United States, so that today 2 out of 3 American Jews can trace their roots to Ukraine.
We are Very, very grateful to the sponsors for this entire series. The New Jersey Council for the Humanities has sponsored 4 of the events. The Middlesex County Cultural and Heritage Commission sponsored 3 of the events. And then we've also had sponsorships from the East Brunswick Arts Commission, the East Brunswick Human Relations Council, and tonight's event, we have very generous funding from the East Brunswick Jewish Center. Tonight's event is also part of our Holocaust Remembrance celebration.
So really lots of different parts of the community coming together for this event.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this community so wonderful.
Thank you for joining us for this meaningful Holocaust Remembrance event. Please make sure to take a look at the library website for more detailed information about upcoming events as part of the Roots Project. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, today in our schools brings us to Central Elementary School, where a wonderful activity is taking place. I'm here with Nicole Tibbetts, the principal of the school, and she's going to tell us about Disability Awareness Day. So can you tell us what is going to be going on today?
Absolutely. All of the students are participating in 9 different stations where we're simulating various disabilities in an effort to help students understand what it's like to be living with a disability.
Wonderful. And what kind of activities will we see? Can you tell us about one in particular?
You'll be seeing a lot of different activities. One in particular is giving students an understanding of what it is to have a sensory processing disorder, and the students will actually be working on the iPads with earphones trying to simulate that sensory processing disorder.
And who helps facilitate this, and what role do your teachers play?
The teachers play an enormous role in this. They're actually the ones that make the entire event happen. Our speech therapists and special education teachers are the ones that have planned each of the different stations and are running all of them.
One finger, good. Each. 2 fingers. Yep. Turn it that way. Awesome. H, I. Now you're going to swoop down and draw the J in the air. Yep. J. Good. K. It's kind of weird. 2 fingers up.
And how do the students get involved?
The students rotate from station to station with a packet that gives them a lot of conversation starters, and the whole purpose is not only to jump in and try these things, but to really open up and have a dialogue about what makes this challenging for a student and what should we be thinking about when we're with these students in our classrooms.
If you wanted a ball, you would touch ball, okay? And then we have...
I know some people in Central School who use it.
Yeah, right? And then sometimes it helps them when they need help. It can talk.
What's your ultimate goal, if you could just sum up what the goal of a day like this, an experience for your students is?
Empathy. In just one word, empathy.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing all the wonderful things the students are doing, and that's just another example of the type of things, great things going on in East Brunswick Public Schools.